Welcome to another book talk with Tracy. The last couple of episodes, I've been reading from this book, FRAYED STRANDS, which is a collection of 3 novella-length books based on characters from the 3 Strand Cord series. So if you've read that series, you will recognize these characters from there. But in any case, today I'm going to read from the 3rd novella in this book called A Cord of Envy. And this one is from the point of view of Tyler Fletcher, a young man who we met in Tempest Tossed. I believe he was mentioned in Blood Ties as well. And he's the brother to Anne-Marie Fletcher, who, of course, is one of the main characters in those other 2 books. And she's a love interest to Dirk Hillier. Anyway, enough about that backstory. I'm going to get to Tyler's story. Tyler's kind of an interesting fellow. He's a little bit younger than some of the other characters. He's just out of university. And so he's finding his way. And some of his story has to do with, an overbearing parent, maybe a little bit of an attitude where everything's come easy for him, so he hasn't had a lot of struggles in his life, and then sort of a sense of envy, like feeling like everybody else is having more fun than he is, or something like that. So in any case, I enjoyed writing his story, and it's called A Cord of Envy. So this is chapter 1. Tyler Fletcher checked his appearance in the small mirror over the bathroom sink and tugged at the lapels on his suit. Presentable enough for a job interview, he winked at his reflection with a lopsided grin. He'd let his beard grow, and it was coming in nicely, a coppery brown like his recently trimmed hair. He needed to present himself as a serious candidate for the position at Industrious Engineering, a local company that did contract work around the province. The fact that his somewhat round baby face made him look younger than his 23 years was one reason he decided to go for the beard. Made him look more mature. Besides, he hated shaving. That took a lot of effort. Tyler shut off the light and left the small bathroom. If all went well, he'd be moving out of his parents' home very soon. Not that it hadn't been a good decision to live at home while going to university. He'd saved a ton on rent, and since his parents had paid for his schooling, he'd actually been able to finish his degree in engineering without a mountain of debt, like most of his friends. It was time to grow up, though. Leave the nest, so to speak. His mother would not make it easy. Talk about tight apron strings. She was the quintessential mother hen. Always hovering, always prying, always trying to take things into her own hands. She was well-meaning, of course. Tyler loved his mother, and lots of the time her tendency to pamper him had been welcome. He didn't have to worry about meals, laundry, cleaning his own bathroom. She did everything. He didn't mind admitting he was a bit lazy when it came to those kinds of basics, and he had taken advantage of her need to hang on to him as long as she could. But it was time. He needed to stretch his wings and see if he could fly. Not to mention, living in the family basement put certain restrictions on one's love life. Not that he was planning to go crazy or anything. He'd been raised a Christian in a pretty strict environment, but nowadays even lots of his Christian friends had given in to the societal norms. It did seem kind of outdated to save oneself for marriage in this day and age. Not that he'd done anything about it, not yet anyway. He was actually still a virgin. Not something he admitted to his hockey buddies or most of his other friends. For him, not having a girlfriend had more to do with the time and effort it took than his morals. Tyler took 2 steps at a time to the main level of the house. As soon as he entered the kitchen, he braced himself for his mother's onslaught. "Oh, Tyler, don't you look handsome in your suit?" Linda Fletcher rushed to his side and gave him a squeeze. When she pulled back, she frowned. "Where's your tie? You're not wearing a tie to the interview?" Tyler disengaged himself and headed to the coffee maker. "I only have the one, and I forgot how to tie it." "I'll get you one of your father's. I'll be right back." Linda hurried from the room. Tyler sighed and listened to his mother's footsteps as she clipped up the steps to the 2nd story. No point arguing. He'd just take it off in the car if he didn't like it. She'd never have to know. Linda was back in a few moments and immediately took over tying the tie. When she was done, she patted it in place. My handsome boy, you're going to impress them, I'm sure of it. How could they not want to hire you? I'll cook a special dinner tonight to celebrate. Don't bother, Tyler said. I won't know right away whether I get the job or not, and besides, I'm meeting some of my friends tonight for pool. It's wing night. Linda frowned. You and your friends and your wings and your beer. You know I don't like that you drink, and with your genetics, you need to be careful about your weight. I know, but I work out, remember? There's nothing to worry about. He wasn't particularly worried. He was broad and somewhat husky, but he knew he wasn't really overweight, just a sturdy silhouette, as his mother would say. Well, you're young with a sturdy silhouette, Linda said, the exact words Tyler had been thinking, and he grinned. But it can creep up on you without you even noticing. I should know. Linda Fletcher wasn't fat, but for as long as Tyler could remember, she had obsessed about her weight. Sure, she had a slightly rounded figure. What woman her age didn't? Watching one's weight and not getting fat had been drilled into him and his sister Anne-Marie since infancy. It had been worse for Anne-Marie, Tyler now realized. As a girl, she had been more sensitive about her appearance, but some people made less fuss about boys with a bit of extra weight. If anything, it helped him to get on the football team. You worry too much. Tyler gave his mother a kiss on the cheek. I'll call you later, but please don't make any special plans, okay? Brat. Linda smiled indulgently and gave him a swat. He wasn't about to bring up the fact that if he landed the job, he was planning to move out. So you can follow the rest of Tyler's coming of age, if you will, and there's a little bit of tension and some dire circumstances, of course, mixed in, along with some romance. So that is A Court of Envy, one of the novellas from the Frayed Strand series. So I hope that you check it out. You can see all of my books, plays, devotional books at my website, which is tracykrause.com. And please leave a review, leave a comment. I do really, really appreciate hearing from you. You can sign up for my newsletter. And until next time, I am really glad that you tuned in. So again, next time, see you then. God bless. Bye-bye.